Hey, tonight we're traveling back to ancient Rome, to a night that changed the course of history. We'll witness the final hours of Julius Caesar before daggers met his flesh and the Republic unraveled into empire. It's a tale of ambition, envy, omens and betrayal. A story whispered through marble halls and carried by the shadows of men who claimed to love Rome more than the man who ruled. If you enjoy these quiet journeys through history, I'd be grateful if you gave this a like or subscribe. I'm curious where you're listening from. Drop a comment with your city and whether it's day or night there. Now, settle in, let your shoulders loosen, take a slow, deep breath, and let your mind drift back with me to the fateful night of March 14th, 44 BCE. The evening is cool, the sky painted with fading streaks of orange as the sun sinks behind the Capitoline Hill. You rise from your straw-filled mattress in a small ch. The stone walls radiate the heat of the day, but the night air flows gently through a narrow window, carrying the distant smell of wood smoke and roasted meat. Merchants pack away their wares. Torches flicker along the streets, but beneath the surface calm you sense something heavier, a restlessness that coils like smoke through the night. You pull on your woolen cloak and step outside. The paving stones are uneven beneath your sandals, and your breath mingles with the smoke of oil lamps swaying in the breeze. Tomorrow is the Ides of March, the day when the Senate will convene, and Caesar himself will appear before Rome's most powerful men. You join the slow current of pedestrians heading toward the field of Mars, these pilgrims in bronze helmets gleaming in torchlight. A woman draws water from a fountain, her child tugging impatiently at her tunic. To them, tomorrow is just another day. But whispers travel quickly in Rome, and you've already heard rumors of plots of noble senators meeting in secret chambers, voices lowered but hearts pounding with conspiracies. As you approach the Theater of Pompey, the very place where the Senate will gather, you catch sight of its looming stone arches, dark against the moonlit skies. The structure feels different tonight, less like a monument to Roman glory and more like a stage set for something ominous. An old man sitting on the temple steps calls out to no one in particular. His hair is wild. Beware the Ides of March, he mutters, his voice cracked but insistent. Passers-by glance at him uneasily, then look away. Rome is full of mad prophets, but his words cling to your ears like burrs. You continue walking until you reach the edge of a small square where two men stand in shadow, cloaked, their voices low. You pause nearby, pretending to adjust your cloak. No, the other replies firmly, it must be together. If only one raises the blade, he'll be branded a murderer. Their faces are hidden, but the name Cassius is enough. Senator Gaius Cassius Longinus, bitter from years of slights, hungry for Caesar's fall. You move on. The streets seem darker, heavier. Every torchlight flickers like an omen. You turn toward the Tiber River. The water reflects the moon, a silver ribbon slicing through the city. Somewhere across the river, in his grand villa, Caesar himself is likely dining with friends and family. Your imagination drifts into his villa. Caesar reclines on a couch, his face stern but weary. His close friend Decimus sits beside him, feigning loyalty even as betrayal. Calpurnia, anxious, clutches her husband's hand and pleads with him not to go. She tells him of her nightmares, visions of his statue bleeding, of Romans washing their hands in it. Caesar listens, his sharp eyes softening. For a moment, you almost believe he'll stay home. But then Decimus speaks gently, assuring him the senator waits, that to show weakness would be worse than to face danger. The city grows quieter as midnight deepens. You return to your small room and lay down, staring at the cracked plaster ceiling. Sleep comes slowly, broken by the murmur of voices outside and the occasional bark of a dog in the distance. The night is restless, as if Rome itself knows what tomorrow will bring. When dawn finally breaks, the air feels different, sharp, expectant. You hear the creak of carts, the stomp of sandals on stone, the shouts of vendors beginning their debts. Beneath it all is a hushed tension, as though the city is holding its breath. Senators in white togas gather, their faces serious, their eyes darting like nervous birds. Instead, you linger in the courtyard, the murmur of voices washing over you like distant waves. You hear footsteps louder than the rest, and then you see him, draped in a blood-red cloak, surrounded by attendants. His presence fills the space. Proud parts, whispers rise. Some bow their heads, others raise their voices. The doors close behind him with a dull, final sound. For a moment, the courtyard is still. Then the silence is broken, first by muffled voices, then by the sudden clamour of You cannot see what unfolds, but you know. Daggers flashing, Caesar struggling, his toga stained red. The betrayal of friends, the infamous... Moments later, the doors open again. A senator stumbles out, his face pale, his hands trembling. Behind him, others emerge, their robes splattered with crimson. The crowd surges, some horrified, some triumphant. Rome itself seems to shudder, knowing the world has just changed forever. The night before had been full of omens. As you turn away, blending back into the streets of the eternal city, you cannot shake the feeling that you have stood at the edge of history, watching as the Republic gasped its final breath.